All right, hey guys, today we're going to go over lesson 9.5, which is on something called indirect measurement. You are going to need your notebook, your math book, and a calculator out and ready to go as you watch this video. All right, we are actually going to start in your math notebook today. So in your math notebook, I would write a page that says indirect measurement, put that title up at the top, what I have highlighted. Then I'd like you to copy down the definition, and then I will start walking you through what it means. So push pause and copy the definition down. All right, so indirect measurement is using similar figures to compute distances that are difficult to measure directly. All right, so you may want to sketch this picture out that I have drawn here as well. So I have a 5-foot tall person. You can see them standing right here. They cast a shadow. So this guy knows he's 5 feet tall. He cast a shadow. Shadows are always along the ground of 4 feet long. A nearby tree, which I have no idea how tall this tree is, but its shadow is on the ground right here, is 10 feet long. I want to know, using indirect measurement, could I figure out how tall the tree is without actually measuring it? All right, so this is called indirect measurement because we're not actually measuring it. So first thing you might notice is, hey, this kind of looks like a right triangle, if I kind of fill that in. Okay, the person standing, they form a right angle with the ground. So does the tree. Okay, I know the bottom of the triangle, of both of those right triangles. I know how tall the guy is, but I do not know how tall the tree is. What I do know, though, is the sun is shining down from the sky, okay, and the sun is shining down at the same angle. So it doesn't matter how tall an object is, when the sun is shining down, it's going to make this angle right here, it's going to be the same as this angle here. So if you guys think about what we learned for the past couple days, well, if this angle and this angle are the same, and these are both 90 degrees, then this last angle also has to be the same. So I know that these two triangles are similar, and remember that's the similar symbol. So if I know that these two triangles are similar, I can use what I know about similar triangles to find this missing length, and I'm going to do that on the next slide. All right, so again, I know that these triangles are similar, so if I want, I can draw them out. I know this is 4, this is 5, this side's 10, and this side I will call X. Okay, these are similar triangles, I'll fill that in. All right, so because these two triangles are similar, we learned that corresponding sides are proportional. That means like if I went from here to here, it would have a scale factor. Same thing, it would have the same scale factor. So that's kind of one way you could do it. You could be like, oh, well, how do I get from 4 to 10? Well, I better do the same thing here. That is definitely one way to do it. Another way to do it is you can set up a proportion that deals with the corresponding sides. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say this side length down here, 4, corresponds to the shadow over here. So the person's shadow corresponds to the tree shadow. So I'm going to set that up as a ratio. So the person's shadow corresponds to the tree shadow. Then I'm going to say, well, the person's height, that side of the triangle, has to correspond to this side. They have to be equal because those two triangles are similar, and we proved that the other day. So now if you have something like this, you can solve it really 3 different ways. One way you could be like, well, how do I get from 4 to 5? I'll do the same thing here. Or you could say, well, how do I get from 4 to 10? I can do the same thing going from 5 to X. Or your last way is you could actually cross multiply and divide. You could take 10 times 5, which is 50. You guys know that. And then divide by the number that's left. Divide by that 4. So 50 divided by 4 gives me 12.5. So I know that that tree is 12.5 feet tall. All right, now I'm going to solve it a different way. I could say, all right, I'm going to go from, here's the person. I'll just write their sides as a ratio. So the person's shadow is 4 feet tall, and the person is actually 5 feet tall. That should be equal to the tree shadow is 10 feet tall, and its height is X feet tall. So now if you kind of think about this, this was the person's shadow, height, tree shadow, tree's height. I could think about it like this. Well, how do I get from 4 to 10? I think it's times 2.5. And if I did 5 times 2.5, I get the same thing of 12.5. Or you can cross multiply and divide again, and you should still get the same answer. If you do 5 times 10 is 50, divided by 4, you still get 12.5 no matter how you do it. So there's a lot of different ways you could set up this proportion. You just have to make sure if you go like shadow, shadow, it's got to be across from each other, or shadow, height. So just make sure you keep things lined up, or like I did to start with, like we've been doing the past few lessons, I took the corresponding sides. 4 corresponds to 10, and then 5 corresponds to x. So as long as you do it one of those ways, you should come up with the right answer. All right, now we are going to open up our math book to page 523, and we are going to actually try some problems that use indirect measurement. So if you guys can open your math book up. Our learning goal for today is I can use properties of similar triangles to solve indirect measurement problems. So we already talked about what indirect measurement means. Another word for this is actually called shadow reckoning. It's just, again, when you form a shadow, the sun is shining down at the same angle. So we know that angle and that angle are equal. 2 right angles, so then we know the third angle is equal. So again, that means those are similar triangles. So now let's try some problems. Okay, so again, page 524, you are in your math book. So I have a statue of the Korean War Memorial in Washington, D.C. You guys can see the statue right here. Okay. Cast a 43.5-inch shadow. You can see the shadow is along the ground. At the same time, I have a 64-inch tall tourist, and their shadow is 32 inches. Again, you can see that on the ground. It wants to know, what could I set up a proportion? So I know these two triangles are similar. I'm just going to draw that little symbol in there. Can I set up a proportion to solve this? Well, let's just look at what they did in the work. So they said, hey, here's how tall the tourist is, 64 inches. And its shadow, or his shadow, is 32 inches. And then I'm going to work with the statue. Here's how tall the statue is, h, and its shadow is 43.5. Now, they did not solve it by cross multiplying and dividing. They said, hey, sometimes there's a little bit easier way to do it. They looked and said, hey, to get from 32 to 64, to just double. So what if I double down here? I end up with 87. So that means that statue is 87 inches tall. Now, you could definitely have cross multiplied and divided. That would still give you the same exact answer. So let's try the check. If you want to pause and try this on your own, you may solve it by cross multiplying, but please set up your proportion first. Push play when you're ready to see the answer. All right, so again, there's a couple different ways to set this up. Just because I set it up one way doesn't mean you couldn't set it up another way. So I'm going to work with this dog. The dog is 0.45 meters tall. I like to say, hey, that corresponds with the tree height of h. And then I go, okay, the dog's shadow is 0.3. Notice how I started with the dog in both of them. And then the tree shadow is 2.2. Okay, so now I'm going to cross multiply and divide. Again, you don't have to do it this way, but probably a little quicker. So I'm going to do 0.45 times 2.2. And then I get 0.99, and then I'm going to divide by that 0.3. And I end up with the height of that tree is 3.3 meters tall. And you just found the height of that tree without actually measuring it using indirect measurement. So again, it's really easy. If there's things you can measure, you can measure the shadows along the ground. You can measure how tall a dog is, but a tree would be hard to measure without using indirect measurement. All right, let's check out the next example on page 525. So if you guys look, I have a picture of a lake, and you can kind of see there's a triangle within a triangle. So it tells you in the figure, triangle DBA is similar to ECA. So I'm just going to highlight these. So triangle DBA, that's this triangle that I just highlighted in gray. It says it's similar to triangle EAC. Well, EAC would be this big triangle. So I have the gray triangle inside and the yellow triangle, they're similar. Now, a lot of times when you have a triangle within a triangle, it really helps to separate the two triangles. So you can see that they took this smaller triangle, my gray one, and they drew it out down here. And they wrote the measurements that they knew. They knew it was 40 and then 320. And then they took the big triangle here and they said, okay, this is D, 320, 162. And they drew that out there. Okay, so now that I have that, I can use my similar triangles, they told me they were similar, to find that missing side, that D. All right, I'm going to come do it off to the side. I don't really love using the boxes. So I'm going to pick two sides that match up. I'm going to say I'll take this side, 320. That corresponds to this side over here. Well, I need to add those. I've got 320 plus that 162. So this whole length here is 482, this whole diagonal. So I'm going to say that corresponds to 482. And then I'll take this other side, 40. That corresponds to D. Notice how I started with the little triangle, and I started with the little triangle here, and then I went to the big triangle and the big triangle here. Now I can actually cross multiply and divide. So I'm going to take those two, 482 times 40, and then I'm going to divide by 320, and it looks like I end up with 60.25 meters. So that distance across the lake is 60.25 meters. All right, let's check out this last problem. So you guys should be able to see two triangles. Again, this is on page 526. I want you guys to pause the video and try this out. Once you have your answer, I want you to push play so you can check it. All right, if I'm checking this out, the first thing I'm going to notice is ABC is similar to EBD. So if I take side AB, I need to match it up with EB. So AB is right here, 220. I'm going to use a different color so you guys can see that better. So AB is right here. That matches up with EB, 400. So always kind of check that out so you match up the sides correctly. And then AC, if I go A to C, that needs to be ED, which is here. So AC is X, and then this one is 360. Now, again, make sure I started with the small triangle and went to the big. So over here, I need to start with the small, go to the big. Okay, after you did that, now you can cross multiply. So I'm going to multiply those two diagonals, 220 times 360, and then divide by 400, and I end up with X equals 198 meters. So that should be your answer. All right, so our learning intention for today was that we can learn to use properties of similar triangles to solve indirect measurement problems. So hopefully you can solve problems involving measurements with shadows, involving indirect measurement, and then you can apply them to solving real-world problems. All right, now you're going to be practicing some of these types of problems. So you're going to do pages 527 and 528 in your math book, numbers 1 through 9, and number 11. You're also going to enter these in the online math book. A couple quick little notes about your homework. When you get to number 2, I highly suggest you split those two triangles up and redraw them out. When you get to number 5, you're going to need to draw your own picture. And then I'm just going to start you off on number 7. I'm just going to do one part of number 7 with you. So it says Mr. Nolan's math class went out to measure their shadows in the schoolyard, and they recorded what they were in the table. So Mr. Nolan was 9 feet tall, or his shadow was 9 feet tall, and he was 6 feet tall. So the flagpole is 48 inches tall. I want to know how long is its shadow. So I can set up a proportion just using what I know about Mr. Nolan, because the sun is shining down at the same angle on him as compared to the flagpole. So I just did, this was Mr. Nolan's shadow, Mr. Nolan's height. This was the flagpole shadow. Now I want its height. Now there's other ways you could set it up, but you're going to set that up, solve it. Then you'll do the same thing with the school. You can still compare the school to Mr. Nolan. Then you'll do the school bus. Same thing, you'll set up 3 different proportions to solve this one. All right, if you have questions, please see your math teacher.